Grove. Chapter 3. Analay Edom, a yearning yucca. The smell of cinnamon bread floats up to the attic. My mother only bakes for holidays, Portia's praise day, or Adara's admiration. My mother only bakes for holidays, like Portia's praise day or Adara's admiration day, and there are no lessons in the arboratory. My favorite holiday is Stories Tea Day because we sip on cherry blossom tea at a feasting table in Nooseberry Field. We don't eat anything all day long, but I enjoy the conversations with everyone. We are sorted into our groups at the table, but the best group is Cedar Bark because of the creatives. On Andara's day, we set up bonfires. Andara blows her horn at people after several goblets of wine. On Portia's praise day, everyone must bring 2 dishes of food and their babies, if they have any, to the feasting table. The feasting is an all-day affair. Venus Victory Day is my least favorite and the only holiday with lessons. We head to the arbitrary and stay longer than usual. Then we eat wafers and water, and Vena is the only one who delivers lessons. But today is only an open day. My mother has no reason to be baking cinnamon bread. Get out of bed and measure yourself, my mother calls from downstairs. My heart drops because I hate the feeling I get when I measure myself every morning. Rolling over in my bed, I grab the ladder and slowly step down to enter the common area. My mother is in the kitchen, holding the measure. My mother is in the kitchen, holding the measuring tape with a smile. You look a bit plump today. You look a bit plump today. Hopefully, the measurements won't reflect it. I grab the measuring tape from her and wrap it around my waist. I never try to suck into my I never try to suck in to beat my mother's measurements. Sometimes, even when I know I'm smaller, she still swears her measurements are lower than mine. Losing to my mother is one of my tactics to attempt to please her. My my waist is 26, my hips are 35, I say softly. I'm 24, 33 today, she replies, snatching the measuring tape from me. What have you been eating? She continues, looking me up and down. She walks back she walks back towards the kitchen and glances at the cinnamon bread. Maybe we shouldn't eat cinnamon bread today. How about a fast? I shake my head and then walk over to the bread and pull off a piece. My mom's always fasting. That is probably why she is thin. I don't understand fasting. You starve yourself, but in the meat, you starve yourself, but in the name of Prometheus, I'm not fasting anytime soon. Sit down and eat, she says with her hands on her. Sit down and eat, she says with her hands on her hips. I blow out a huge sigh, grab some bread and sit. I heaved a huge sigh, grab some bread and sit down at our kitchen table. Underneath the table, grains is snowing on a fishbone. I will replace him with brides any day if my mom decides to join the party. The entire treehouse will be mine. Malachi could come over whenever he wanted. No one would have to measure their ma- No one would have to measure their body if I were in charge. No fasting for Prometheus. Maybe Dr. Eugene was wrong about the battle initiation. My mom could be a part of the battle, and I could enjoy life at home without her. Chewing on my cinnamon bread, I smiled to myself, imagining life without my rules. What are you grinning about? My mother questions, interrupting my thoughts. I'm wondering, who will join the battle? My mother sits down in a chair with a white teapot and cup in her hand. She pours deep black root tea and then looks at me. Maybe Wanda or Ellie. Not me, I'm not suited to be in the bottom. I raise an eyebrow at my mother. Do you think we will have to do something drastic to join? I ask. Of course it would be drastic, she replies. I glance down at my bread. I'm not hungry anymore. My mother is not eating the bread and only sleeps. My mother is not eating the bread and only sips her tea. I'm going to Nooshberry Field, I announce, standing up from the table. Heading to the game? My mother questions. Yes, I'll go with you, she says, wiping her mouth with a cotton napkin. My eyes widen after my mom's last uttered word. She has never attended a Nooshberry game in my life. Why? I question her. It would be nice to get out of the treehouse, she responds, slightly rising out of her tree stump chair. Well, I'm leaving now, I reply, snatching my pencils, paintbrushes, and drawing pad. I grab a stem from a leaf and tie my hair up in a ponytail. I don't want my mother to come with me. Alright, I'll meet you there then. I need to give Green some water and food before I leave. My stomach feels my stomach feels like a my stomach feels like small rodents are fighting inside of it. Why is my mother acting strangely? Shrugging my shoulders, I open the doors. Shrugging my shoulders, I open the door to leave the treehouse. I choose to ignore the sick feeling in my stomach. I walk down our wooden pathway and onto the promenade. The Nooshberry Field is near the King's Tree Mansion, but right now I want to pick up some treats from Bonnie's Treats shop, which is inside of the promenade. The sound of beautiful singing resonates through my ears. The creatives chant to Prometheus. My heart leaps. Their united voices flow in unison. The brown leaves fastened on their clothing rock with their bodies as they sing. Prometheus, we are the chosen ones. Prometheus, you hover above and guide us. We need you to move through our struggles, our limitations. Help us to be more like you. The creatives stop singing when they see me. Lunatic Leonard is the rebellious and stiff-necked leader of the creatives. He is always trying to escape Lenore. Well, hello, Glenn, Leonard shouts, waving his brass-colored hands. He has a terrible memory and forgets my name all of the time. The creatives follow him. The creatives follow him as he says his usual spiel. I wish Brights was here to scare him off. Leonard grabs a piece of bread from a kind creative named Honor. Even though she is Ruby's mother, all of the creatives view her as their own mother. With brown skin and wavy black hair, Honor cooks for the creatives in their cellar. Lanterns and candles are the only source of light. The violet water from Prometheus' statue sit on small tables with chairs. A few a few wooden instruments and parchment lay scattered around the floor. Singing, laughing, and conversing usually fill the cellar. Honor made unleavened Honor made unleavened bread, Leonard says, pointing to the cellar. I shake my head, only cra- I shake my head, only craving treats at the moment. Honor waves at me. Would you like to hear lyric poet? Would you like to hear lyric perform poetry? Hear stanza scat? Do Re Mi and Glory sing? Watch sports shoot? Buy them all for buy them all for 5 evergreen coins. Leonard pesters, walking around me in a circle. The creatives follow him, and each one performs a sample on cue. I smile at them and continue walking. How about Jubilee? She'll soar in the air with grace. Wanna see star sachet? When I don't respond, Leonard glances behind him and points at Haiku. Haiku, show her what you can do, Leonard says. I never understand why he remembers all the creatives' names, but not anyone with three houses. Haiku, a medium-sized man, steps out with his arms placed in front of him. He breathes in a lot of he breathes in a lot of air before he begins his piece. Pretty red-haired girl walking about the circle. We need your coins now. Leonard yanks Haiku to the side and they whisper. That was awful, Leonard comments. It was unprepared. It was unprepared. Haiku responds, throwing his hands up in the air. I'm leaving now. I'm leaving now. I shout in a sing-song tone and walk to Street and walk to Bunny Street's shop. No wait, Leonard yells, running towards me. His blistered hands shake in front of him, and his brown cloak appears more torn than usual. I'll even sing for you. You know I cannot sing or dance, Leonard begs. I stare into Leonard's weary face and slowly crack a smile. What are you buying with coin? What are you buying with the coins? I question. We're placing a bet on who will join the party. The creatives who win will split. The creatives who win will split the loot. He states. I'm betting on Ellie Linden. Heiko whispers from the side. Here, let me sing and dance for you. Timber, timber, Leonard says, pulling my arm. I roll my eyes and shake my head at him. I was definitely not Timber Duncan. The creatives form a circle around him and slowly begin to clap. Leonard shuffles his feet back and forth to the rhythm of the creatives clapping. Their eyes light up. This is an odd occurrence. Sometimes he will beat on a drum, but Leonard never sings. He pitches he pitches performance to people with tree houses and horsemen. The creatives pay him if he scores a performance for them. When Leonard opens his mouth to sing, I'm shocked by how beautiful and full his voice sounds. Can you see what's beyond the mountains? The snow mountains of Lenore? Can you show me what's beyond the mountains? So I found what I'm yearning for. I've been trying to escape out to the mountains, the glorious mountains of Lenore. Can you show me what's beyond the mountains? So I'll find what I'm yearning for. Leonard lowers his head at the end of his performance. Now I am wondering what is beyond the mountains of Lenore too. His hands tremble as he holds out his hat for a payment. The creatives stare at me in silence. I gulp. Alright, but I only have one evergreen coin to spare, I say. Ah, the creatives answer me in unison, and they all walk back towards the middle of the promenade. They don't want my coin? I say, digging into my pocket. I'll take it, but it is just one coin. Leonard replies, shrugging his shoulders. When I give him the coin, the curtsies, and when I give him the coin, he curtsies and then smiles. He turns to face the creatives. Thanks, Lydia. One coin down, several more to go. Don't give up, everyone, he yells to them. I smile. At least you almost got my name right by calling me by my mother's name. I remember why I came to the promenade in the first place. I need treats. As I approach Bunny's street shop, I smell the scent of brown sugar from the various pastries. Someone's screaming and yelling. I said I wanted powdered cherry blossom leaves, not powdered mulberry leaves. The voice distinctively belongs to Ellie Linden. My initial instinct is to turn around and head back to the promenade to avoid him, but I want treats for the game today. The bell on the door jingles as I walk in. Ellie shakes his fist in Bonnie's face. His wife, Clara, timidly pulls his arm behind him. Not here, please, Clara whispers to him. She is wearing an emerald dress with golden owl buttons on the front. Owls are the Linden family's totem. Their entire front porch is decorated with a variety of wooden owl figurines, owl lanterns, owl birdhouses, owl chairs, owl tables. The list is lengthy. The owls circle and owls circle and fly around their treehouse like they have mice stuck in their cupboards. Even Clara's curly brown hair reminds me of a tiny owl's nest. Bunny turns her back on Ellie and faces the evergreen register. She swiftly bags the cherry blossom leaves in a brown bag. When I speak to the Patel about your service, you will never have a chance at becoming a part of the Patel tomorrow, Ellie shouts. Bunny snaps her fingers in his face. I guess I'm out of luck, she replies with sarcasm. She hands Ellie the treats. Ellie snatches them from her and pivots right into my face. I fall over and plummet down onto a box of maple leaf tarts. Excuse you, Annalie, he mumbles, rushing out of this store with Clara behind him. But Bonnie with a loud sigh. My blood boils when I look at Ellie. You know I'm harmless, but Ellie is a different story. Bunny seems in Bunny seems lost in thought. Then she glances down at me. I'm still stuck in the maple leaf tart. I'm still stuck in the maple leaf tarts box. Oh, oh, here, let me help you up. Bunny mumbles. She walks around the counter and pulls me up with one hand. I catch her smiling at me as I dust myself off. How's the day suiting ya, sweetie? She asks, walking back to her counter. Warm pastries infused with pieces of different types of tree bark rest on several trays. Following her to the counter to view the selection of treats, I hesitate to respond. I'm curious to know if Bunny knows anything about the initiation into the pattern. My eyes continue to scan across several tarts, desserts, and chocolates, but I always buy the same item. Two honey-covered leaves for you on the treehouse, Bunny says before I open my mouth, and she quickly stuffs the treats in a bag. Honey-covered treats are two thin wafers with lemon cream filling, nuts, and honey drizzled on top. They look like elm leaves with a stem. I gesture with my hand to my chin, a grateful thank you. This is the way we say thank you in Lenore. Bunny, Bunny removes the powdered cherry blossoms. Bunny removes the powdered cherry blossoms leaves from the counter, and her bright orange skirt swivels around in a riveting way. Her fluffy rainbow skirts are even more captivating. Wanda Duncan sews them for her. Are you going to join the battle tomorrow? I state, after pulling out a treat from my bag. If Bunny becomes a battle member, she could change the way the battle operated. Maybe the battle could be more friendly towards the people of Lenore. If the people allows me to bring my family too. If the people allows me to bring the family too, it would be nice to have the whole family become immortal. Bunny chuckles. Are your boys already on the field? I ask. Yes, you should catch up with them now. Farrell and I are going soon. She responds with a smile. Thank you again for the treats, I yell, running out of her store. Since Bunny gave me treat, since Bunny gave me free treats, I decide to give the rest of my evergreen coins to the creatives for their bet. Stepping onto the promenade, I glance around and it's empty. The creatives must be at the Mooseberry field. I walk up to Prometheus. His hands rest arrogantly on his hips. His woody beard tilts up towards the sky, and his eyes are large, glimmering emeralds. Cold water spouts from his open mouth and falls gracefully into the mountain. I throw an evergreen coin into the fountain. The water turns purple. I don't make a wish or prayer, though. I turn away from Prometheus and head to Nooseberry Field. It's past Malachi's tree mansion and near the feasting table. The Nooseberry Field is a vast meadow with two single redwood trees standing several branches apart from each other at the end of the field. I love that the prattle and horsemen never attend Nooseberry games. When I arrive, most of the people of Lenore relax on an enormous blanket called the Quilt of Life. The Solar and the King family soothes the quilt generation and still maintain its quality. If I stare down at the quilt, I have a bird's eye view of Lenore and the three houses. The texture of the quilt is soft, and I've napped on it many times. I scan the area. Dr. Eugene and the Solar family lunch together at the front of the quilt. Bunny, Farid, and the Duncan family rest in the middle of the blanket. Wanda Duncan, Wanda Duncan and own Wanda Duncan and Grant own Grant's grocer, but they are classified as yearning yokas because Wanda is a washer slash sewer. Grant's grocer is made of logs, and sometimes he chops wood for the people of the north. Clara and Ellie Linden sit alone on the left corner. They are only here to see Glenn. Hey Yoka, did you have enough evergreen coins for those treats? Someone says behind me. The only person who calls me Yoka is Glenn Linden. The nickname is short for a yearning Yoka. I roll my eyes and turn around. Her black hair is tied up in a ponytail. Her pale face is almost as white as the color on her black dress. Everyone knows she hides in Helios's cemetery sometimes, but we act like we don't know where she is when she is missing on open days. Did you have fun hiding in the cemetery? I murmured, glaring back at her. Glenn squints her eyes at me and walks in the direction of the Nooseberry field. I bet she is the queen today. I bet she won't play she won't play Nooseberry Bowl unless she is a queen. The creatives bundle up with each other on the back of the quilt, munching on food. Malachi, Brezenia, the Maloney boys, Trixie Duncan chat before the game. Jubilee, a creative, is also on the field. I sit down and open my drawing pad to the page of the Nooseberry rules. Malachi's older brother, Oren King, organizes the Nooseberry games. Oren has a muscular Oren has a muscular build and black woolly hair. He lives in a house with Pastel and their daughter, Bazania. It is connected to the King's Tree mansion. Pastel and Oren are always kissing. I try not to be annoyed by it, but it happens a lot. As I walk to the field, Oren announces the team's names. I hope the day is suiting you well. Today we will have the Nightshades versus the Flytraps. Virginia will be the queen for the Nightshades, and Glenn will be the queen for the Flytraps, Oren says. Did each of you hide a Nooseberry in Did each of you hide a Nooseberry inside of a tree hollow? Oren directs the question to Virginia and Glenn. The king or queen of each team must find a tree in an area and then secure it in the hollow. Yes, they respond in unison. Thank you. Please be seated at your thrones, Oren says. Bazenia and Glenn race across the Nooseberry field to their drones positioned underneath each redwood tree. Owen smiles at them and then looks back at everyone on the quilt. Maloney boys will be on Team Flytraps. Malachi, Trixie, and Jubilee will be on Team Nightshades. Oren continues. Trixie Duncan, the youngest of the Duncan family, raises her hand. Yes, Trixie? Oren questions. I don't want to play today, Trixie pouts, crossing her arms in front of her. She stumps over to the quilt. Her blonde ponytail bounces up and down. Trixie plops down next to her parents and older sister, Timber. Alright, Oren slowly replies. Oren faces the ground, and his eyes span across the quilt. He waves at Pastor, then his brown eyes land on me. Annalie, do you want to play? I've never played a game of Nooseberry Ball. I don't see the point since my mother neglects to come to the games. I like drawing while the players search for the gooseberry in Carbuncle Woods. My heart flutters with excitement when I think about possibly playing. I guess I'll do it. I place my pan down and stand up. Sure, I yell, running to him and everyone on the field. Oren hands me a horn. If a player finds a nooseberry, they must blow their horn, and then dart to the opposing king or queen to smash the nooseberry over their head. Great! Annalyn will join the Nightshades. Let's toss an evergreen coin to see who will run into Carbacon Woods first to search for a nooseberry ball. Orange states, glancing towards Glen and Virginia. Glen, spider or owl? Oren asks. The front of an evergreen coin has a violet spider on it. The back of a coin has an owl. The front of a the front of an evergreen coin has a violet spider on it. The back of a coin has an owl. Owl, she responds, straightening the crown made of twigs and flowers on her head. Oren pulls an evergreen coin out of the pockets of his pants and flips the coin up into the air. He glances down at the coin. It's a spider! It's a spider! Malachi and the Nightshades will search for the gooseberry before the fly traps. We're playing one round today. There will be a discussion from Alo and Dr. Eugene in the promenade after the game about the battle initiation. There will be a discussion from Alo and Dr. Eugene in the promenade after the game about the battle initiation. Owen states. Malachi pumps his fist in the air as Jubilee and I run towards Carbuncle Woods. My knees pop as I follow them. Anale, you go to the far left of the woods. Jubilee, you should go to the far right. I'll cover the middle area. Malachi asserts, sprinting past me. Jubilee and I nod our head in agreement. I jog to the left side of the woods and pursue the earth path alone. Lush green foliage grows on the edges of my road. My red ponytail whips back and forth, and on my red ponytail whips back and forth on my shoulders as I dash deeper into the woods. I need to find a nooseberry before the Maloney boys. I a revolting booms through my ears. I stop running. Maloney boys? I question, glancing from side to side. The cackle rings through the glen again. The cackle rings through the glen again. I cover my ears. The hideous laugh sounds like a woman. I gulp hard and continue. I gulp hard and continue to scan the area. Silence. Could the battle be in the woods? I bite my lip and then push through the boot. I bite my lip and then push through bushes. I spot a tree with a hollow in front of me and throw my hand inside of the hole. Nothing but stringy moss on nothing but a stringy moss and water. Looks like the looks like the tree is a dance. Logan Maloney dance, running past me, but in my section. The fly traps are now in the game. Sighing, I wipe my hands off and sprint to another tree with a hollow. When I stick my hand in, something inside of it bites my finger. Ouch! I scream, placing my finger in my mouth. My heart pounds. What if a violet spider just bit me? I look inside of the hollow and a plump rat stares back at me. I, rolling my eyes, I run to my third tree. Come on, Prometheus, help me out here, I mutter under my breath. Sprinting towards another tree, someone follows close behind. Monkey face Orchid, Connor Maloney yells, pushing me to the ground. Connor is the tallest and strongest triplet brother. I didn't know pushing was allowed, but you can shout at someone to distract them. Stop teasing her, Maloney's. Malachi shouts from a distance. I wipe the dirt from my hands. Then I grit my teeth and run to the third tree. My hands shake with hesitation as I place my hand in the tree hollow. I inhale a huge breath. A, a slippery, slimy circular object slides through my fingers. It's a nooseberry. A loud horn erupts from the right side of the glen. I grab my horn in shock. Someone grabbed a nooseberry and blew their horn before I could. I ran towards the nooseberry field to see who has the ball. With a nooseberry tucked under her arm, Jubilee sprints across the field. All I see is the back of her head and her curly black hair. She races straight. She races straight towards the flytrap's queen, Glenn. The Maloney boys chase her, but she is ahead of them. I stop in the middle of the field and place my hands on my head, hoping the Maloney's boys won't catch her. The game will start over if someone tags you after you discover a newsberry. Malachi stands, Malachi stands beside me with a massive grin on his face. Go, Jubilee! Malachi screams, throwing one arm in the chair. The creatives cheer with him. Farrell and Bunny Maloney rise from the quilt to encourage their sons. Better than that! Come on, boys, hustle! Bunny shouts, placing her hands around her mouth. Jubilee reaches Glenn's throne and lifts the gooseberry over her head. Glenn grinds her teeth, seemingly anticipating the slime oozing through her hair. The gooseberry smashes on Glenn's head. Red sludge pours down her black hair and shoulders. Brazilia's crown nearly falls off her head as she laughs at Glenn from her throne. Great work, Nightshades, Oren shouts. Everyone please head to the promenade before the discussion, he continues. Jubilee offers a hand to Glenn, but she refuses. Red glue spills down Glenn's back. Red glue spills down Glenn's black dress. Father, I cannot see. I think I'm blind. Glenn shrieks, stopping to her parents on the cliff. Glenn is not that serious, and Linden replies in a dismissive tone, picking at dust from his suit. Clara Linden stands from the quilt and walks over to Glenn. Tiny bells jingle. Oh no! Greens. My mother and Greens walk up to the quilt. I blow out a sigh as Panachi and I walk towards her. Did I miss the game? My mother questions everyone. I squint my eyes at her. I'm not sure what to say. Dr. Eugene stands to greet my mother. Hi, Lydia. Yes, you missed the game, but Oren told everyone to meet in front of Prometheus. I would like to give a speech concerning the battle initiation, he states, smiling at her, smiling at her and reaching out to grab her hand. My mom's right eyebrow arches and she rolls her eyes at him. Fine, she replies, snatching her hand away from Dr. Eugene. She saunters to Ellie and Clara for a conversation. Every fine day, Dr. Eugene will announce updates about new medicine from our trees. Sometimes Cheyenne and Alo interpret folklore, and the creatives help them by acting out the stories. Malachi and I walk with Malachi and I walk with the rest of the townspeople to the promenade. Farah and Bunny wrap their arms around each other, and their boys follow behind them with huge smiles. Sometimes I envy the Maloney family. I wish I had a whole family. I just have my mother, unfortunately. Do you think Lenore will be different with a new member? Malachi questions me, kicking a pebble near Prometheus' statue. I sit down on the side of the water fountain. Malachi settles down beside me. Our holidays and rituals might change, I respond. A bunny's bonanza day, or Wanda's wash day? Malachi asks. Malachi asks, a bunny bonanza day or Wanda's wash day? Malachi asks, smirking at me. His eyes light up when he mentions Wanda's day. I laugh and shake my head. Wanda's personality wouldn't fit in well with the Prater. She's too transparent. Hmm, what about a... She's too transparent. What about a Lydia's leadership day, Yuka? Glenn blurts out. I turn around and she is near us with Timber Duncan. Glenn and Timber are always in Helios's cemetery outside of lessons or Newsbury games. Ellie's elite day is perfect. My mom doesn't want to join the battle. I snap back, crossing my arms. Glenn interrupts me often. So I'm not surprised she is listening in our so I'm not surprised she is listening in on our conversation. Everything about her is infuriating. Is everyone here? Is everyone here? Dr. Eugene asks, clapping his hands together. Alo and Dr. Eugene step in front of Prometheus' statue. I look around to find my mother, and she is standing with Clara and Ellie on the opposite of the statue. Ellie's nose turns up slightly at my mother because she is a yearning yoka. She ignores him and laughs with Clara. I cannot stand the Lindens. The Duncans, except for Timber, stand behind the Lindens and my mother. The Creatives are near the front, and the Maloneys are a few small branches to the right of me. Cheyenne, Daniel, Oreen, Pastel, and Virginia arrive and sit beside Malachi and me. Congrats on winning the game, Daniel whispers under his breath to Malachi. Dr. Eugene claps his hand again to gain everyone's attention. Great, everyone is here, so I will go ahead and begin, Dr. Eugene King says. Alo nods with his arms. Alo nods with his arms crossed in front of him. I am grateful to be a part of a town as eclectic and close-knit as Lenore's. Dr. Eugene begins. Immortality means to live forever, but please don't be blindsided by the fact that if you want to gain notoriety or status, there will be a price to pay. But please don't be blindsided by the fact that if you want to gain notoriety or status, there will be a price to pay. The Nor will be changed forever if someone joins the battle tomorrow. Whispers flutter through the crowd as Dr. Eugene continues his speech. Please stand together against the battle and say no. We will not give up a member of our community to satisfy our needs. They have our freedom blocked away because of Lake Atlantis and the mountains. But we can choose to stay humble tomorrow. When you wake up on Birch Day, I want you to think twice before requesting to be a part of the battle. The crowd roars with applause. Dr. Eugene's enthusiastic voice ripples through the promenade. Leonard and the creatives chant and stamp their feet with approval. Allo would like to speak, Dr. Eugene states, gesturing toward him. Allo's long jet black hair is in two braids. The red beads in her braids The red beads in his braids match the red leaf pinned on his shirt. I think we should resist the temptation to join the battle. Each family has been assigned to each family has been assigned different traits, and we work well together the way things are now. Imagine if we just lost one member of our town. It would change everything, Alu says, staring into the crowd. Leonard stands in front of the creatives. He waves his hands above his head, prompts them to start speaking. Immortal? Leonard questions the creatives. Just say no, they respond. Immortal? Immortal? He asks again. Just say no. The chant grows louder until blood-curdling screams fill the promenade. Creatives scatter around us. Some of them hide behind Prometheus' statue. I stand up and search for Alo and Dr. Eugene. They are both frozen, and I glance down at one of Alo's legs and a huge violet spider on his right calf. On his right calf. My heart pounds faster. I stare at the battle in shock. Where did, it, where did these spiders come from? The battle moved so quickly, no one saw them under the battle moved so quickly, no one saw them enter the promenade. The battle pushes through the creatives and glare behind Alo and Dr. Eugene. They pace around the promenade while grinning at our stricken faces. My head spins. It's filled with a buzzing noise because of the crowd's presence. I cover my ears. Out of the corner of my eye, Malachi's arm shoots out in front of Daniel. He is probably trying to run towards Alo. My gut is telling me to run towards Alo too, but I can't. I cannot. I've seen people die. I've seen people die under the fangs of violet spiders. I reach out and grab Daniel and Malachi's hands. Vena snaps towards the middle of the promenade. Do you see why mortals should convey immortality? Vena shouts, pointing at the violet spider on Ailo's leg. We have no fear. There's nothing to fear when you are immortal. But mortals fear death. She sneers at us. A surge of panic soars through me. Her mock smile makes me feel sick. When you wake up on birthday, decide if you would like to live without the fear of dying. Ivana continues. Adara grabs the violet spider off Alo's legs and walks towards the arbitrary. Tori, Portia, and Brenna follow her. Everyone releases a collective sigh as Alo and Dr. Eugene walk back toward the crowd. The trepidation building in my heart slowly slips away. I'm already preparing to hug them both, but then a black shadow flashes near us again. It's Adara. My heart stops. The battle notoriously move with speed. My heart, my heart drops. The battle notoriously move with speed. Charging towards Alo, Adara sinks the violet spider's fangs into his back. I cannot believe it. I release Daniel and Malachi's hands and cover my mouth. Alo plummets to the ground. The violet spider crumbles up and disappears into the air. Whips, 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 whips of whips of violet smoke whips of violet smoke hover above Alo. Dr. Eugene and Cheyenne race to Alo. His body convulses from the venom of the violet spider. Cheyenne's finger Cheyenne's fingers grip into Alo's shoulders. Alo whispers something to Cheyenne. His eyes roll back. and purple foam gushes out of his mouth. Alo's body continues to jerk and then suddenly stops. Dr. Eugene kneels down to pat Alo's forehead and mouth with a handkerchief. Daniel screams while looking back and Daniel screams while looking back and forth at the direction of his father and then to the brother. The brother's black robes drift back to the arbitrary. Tori walks up to the wooden post that displays the population count in front of the arbitrary and erases 77. She pulls out a piece of purple chalk from her robe and writes 76. Okay, that concludes chapter 3 of Violet Spiders of Methusela's Grove. Okay, quick note before whenever I begin another entry, another run of this. Kapag kakain ka ng noodles o ano pang sabaw o mani o kakain ka ng mainit na pagkain, huwag mong gawin ito habang nagsasagawa ka ng ganitong activity. Kasi lalamig 'to, eh. At alam mo na kapag ginagawa ko 'to, 'di ako huminto hangga't sa natapos ko ang chapter at 'di rin talaga ako magkain bilang resulta kaya ayun, lumambig yung pagkain ko. Kaya sa susunod na iba mong kumain, unahin mo unahin mo muna mag ganito bago ka gumawa ng mga pagkain. Okey, sige.